Most important challenge of the day today is making sure that Joey Biggs, our director of operations, has Wi-Fi or, I don't know, whatever you need to get the Citrus Bowl game on New Year's Eve, as we'll be heading out to, where we go, Eugene? Long trip. So congratulations to Brett and that group of guys on a great season and an invitation to play the Gamecocks in Orlando on New Year's Eve. So that'll be a great opportunity for them, and excited about opportunity tomorrow. Coming off a tough loss. It's you have a 10-point lead on the road. You do everything that we talk about in our program in terms of figuring out how to win when the ball doesn't go in. We didn't shoot the ball very well. We were, 1 of 18 from three guys who make threes at a really high clip, and Kylan, Will, and Ben. We made 50% of our layups. It was an extremely physical game, a game in which, KJ doesn't get to the foul line, and we don't shoot free throws. And yet we had control of that game. I thought defensively we were really good. There's a reason we're one of the top 2-point defenses in the country. But we played pretty out of character offensively from the standpoint of our pace, our tempo. That's on me. Getting our guys to do that. Should have probably played a little deeper into our bench. But you give Northwestern credit, and they made a couple plays. It's life is really hard on the road in this league, and Northwestern's been excellent. I thought our offensive rebounding was the worst part of the game, we have to be able to clean that up and be more consistent in our efforts there. But on to the next. You get Wisconsin, who is very much like us. They're not afraid to put themselves out there and play people and challenge themselves, and the opportunity to get better every day. They lost a tough one to Michigan, had their rival game with Marquette, and they're a very good basketball team, a team we know very well. They've got one of the outstanding players, my opinion, probably one of the 2 or 3 guys that would be in the early running for league MVP, in Tanjay. He leads the free world in fouls drawn and free throws, and they're a very, very good free throw shooting team. But if KJ gets some of those same calls, we'll shoot a lot of free throws as well. So, good basketball team and a veteran team, and one that is playing exceptionally well on the offensive side.
Brad, Kylan said something interesting. Obviously, teams try to get him off of guarding their best defender. So, what does the counter come from you? Is that an on-court thing where he just has to say, "Hey, we're not switching"? Like, what? As a compliment to him, but how do you maybe counter back?
Yeah, it's what good coaches do. It doesn't matter who we put him on; they were just going to take him away from the action. And it neutralized Barnhizer, because Barnhizer wasn't a factor in any of those plays. It's the other guy stepping up. We saw that a tremendous amount with Trent Frazier, and you can switch the matchup, but it's more the action that they run, and it wasn't we were switching. It wasn't that we were doing anything. It's just as soon as we put him in it, then Martinelli would have gone over there, and Barnhizer would have been in the action. So, it's we've got to figure out a way to avoid that. But again, we don't see a ton of that. And again, I thought he made some hard shots, but it was more our mistakes that I was disappointed in terms of our support.
Brad Kylan said that getting the Barnheiser matchup was a little different than what he's had in the past. Obviously, 6'6" and Tanjay being 6'5". What gave you the confidence and what you see from him against a bigger opponent like that?
Yeah, Kylan is exceptionally strong. I mean, he's a young man that can squat the building. He's got as strong legs as there is. He's got great base. He did a great job of not allowing Barnheiser depth in terms of getting at the rim. Barnheiser played in a lot of ball screens, and Kylan's exceptional at getting over them because of his physicality. And I don't think there's many guys that he's got quickness to guard quickness. He's got physical strength to guard size, and he's really thick through the chest and really strong, so he can take a hit when people want to booty ball.
You've talked about, and Kylan talked about just how there's more space to operate in the paint here than he had at Arizona. What was the process maybe getting him used to maybe having that room?
Yeah, it's why we play a lot. It's why we play a lot of 5-on-5 in practice, and we're doing it every single day. And it's just comfort. You talk about unbelievable growth, and I mean, we're just in early December. The time we've had today was practice 35, I think. Just the growth we've had in 35 practices, and as we continue month by month to continue to see different things, and we saw different coverage against Northwestern than we'll see tomorrow, and for those guys to learn to recognize them and see the opportunities that are there. Paint's open, and teams either have to decide to go home or give us opportunities and pick and rolls and layups, and that's the growth. And when teams do collapse, then it's all we talk about every day and we work on and breakdowns every day is rim decisions, and we had a night where we didn't shoot the ball particularly well. We got a boatload of them against Northwestern, and then we also had some easy layups that we missed and they were wide open. And so the executions, we feel great about. We got the ball where we wanted, and we didn't do it with the pace we wanted, which is on me. That's on me. So, but Kylan's developing into a guy that's a monster, and when he and KJ play in there and their physicality and their ability to get fouled, everybody else is getting those calls. We just didn't get them the other night.
You mentioned maybe wanting to get the bench a little bit more minutes in the last game. Like, what's the push-pull there to try to figure that out? And I'm sure, obviously, you're still trying to figure out the rotations and the roster and what you want.
Yeah, I thought that I think every game's got its own identity. So it's I think I should have played Merez more. Merez put, even with Tommy, just in terms of the stress he was putting on the rim, which forced help. And I thought Trey was doing a great job of cutting. And it's when you play, you see a different. You see the difference in terms of gravity. They pressed up on him really hard, and he has a big first half. So it's kind of that balance of what the game's giving you, what the opponent's doing. And I love, what Merez gives us on the glass, but I also think that Tommy got a little tired too, and that was the physicality of what they provided and what they were allowed to do. We hadn't seen all year.
Yes. On the subject of growth, what have you maybe seen from Kylan and KJ playing together? Because Kylan said it's taken him some time to figure out maybe life off the ball a little more than he was used to.
Yeah, I think it's it's pretty much our way. It's what we've done here throughout my career is play multiple, if you want to call them lead guards, multiple guys who can play in ball screens, and for us it becomes about the matchup. And Kylan had the ball a lot in the Arkansas game. He didn't have it as much in the Northwestern game. It was matchup based. It was coverage based. They're both really good shooters. And it's kind of pick and choose, and we have the luxury, we get to do that, and so those guys are both got ample opportunities to create for others and themselves.
With a good Wisconsin team coming up, is there like a sense of urgency to win this game, to not maybe go 0-2 right away in Big Ten play?
There's 20 of them. I think I've said this many times, and I'm the only guy in the country that believes this. We should play 34 league games. They should all be hard. They're all hard. We got 20 of them. And there's no more urgency in this game than there is in the last game. We take every game in this program one by one, day by day, and we've got to go out and play exceptionally well. Every game in this league is hard. It's challenging. You're gonna see something. We'll see something different than we've seen in the Northwestern game, and it's really that simple. And at the end of the year, you total them up and you see how many wins you've got and how many losses you've got. There's until there's the last game you lose or win. There's the next game. So it's always, for us, it's about getting better, and it's about challenging ourselves, and obviously Wisconsin's very good, and we've got to go out and perform at a really, really high level, and every game's hard, and we put ourselves out there, and they've done that by playing really good people. And again, we're in early December, so it's early December. It's about continuing to improve and get better, and this Wisconsin is a conference game, gives us a challenge, and we'll have 18 more after that one.
Was the offensive rebounding, was that something you felt percolating dating back to, you made a lot of threes at Arkansas, but did you feel like that, or was that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a thorn in my rear end. It has been grinding at me and bothersome since then. And it's inexcusable to get 17% of your misses back. It's inexcusable. It's the lowest in 4 years, I think, that we've had, and we can't do that. And that's effort. That's not what we've done. We didn't get anything from our guards. We didn't get. We were just, again, should have played the bench more. And we'll try to get better at it.
It's maybe beyond effort, what makes Merez maybe as good a rebounder as he is? Because his rate is like notably high.
Yeah, he's one of the top in the country. He's around it. He's 260 pounds. He's a freak athlete. He's got great quickness for a guy that big. He anticipates. And I think one of the great things Merez does is not just play hard, but he competes. And there's a big difference. And we're talking about that in our program right now. And it's we can play hard, but you can play hard and not get the rebound. You got to compete to get the rebound. And Merez does that at a high rate. He had an incredible day yesterday, and he got every rebound, and anybody who was in his way, including his own teammate, felt his wrath. And that's the way it's got to be. He's an incredible competitor, and he rebounds like he did yesterday. He'll get all the minutes he wants.
As you look back at the late portion of the Northwestern game, is there anything that you wish you guys would have done differently or better in some of Martinelli's late game opportunities? And is there anything just to draw from a matchup like him, especially knowing you'll see that team again?
We blew a couple of switches that we normally didn't make, that we didn't make at all in the first half. We just missed them. With Mullins, we could have put Mullins in the gym by himself, and they would not have thrown the ball to him in the second half. They literally told him never to shoot the basketball again, because we were going to let him shoot the whole half and shoot every shot he wanted. And for whatever reason, we got a switch that took one of our support guys out of play, which was Ben, and He got to the middle twice, and we never made that we never made that mistake in the first 36 minutes, 38 minutes of the game, and all of a sudden late we made it multiple times. The one time we didn't, Ben was right there in the paint, and he goes home to Mullins, who's standing in the far corner, instead of helping support. When he made those shots or took those shots in the first half, it was over 4 hands. And we led him to the middle twice, to his left hand. Everybody in the free world knows that Martinelli's going to get a ball to his left hand. I mean, he's Manu Ginobili. You know, everybody knows he's going left. It's a matter of can you make him go the other way. Those were scouting report mistakes that we didn't make. Are those fatigue mistakes? Maybe. And that's why I got to play the bench more.
You mentioned Trey's cutting, but what are you seeing from him right now in this last couple games, and what do you want to see, I guess, more from him?
No, he's been great. I got to play him more. I got to utilize him more. He's really good in his screening actions. He's an elite cutter. He shot the 3 very well. You know, the game's been a little bit different sometimes with going to Will. But you know, then there's no reason I can't play both those guys together. But I like what Trey's done defensively. He is one of our best rebounders, and we have missed that as well.
You mentioned Tanjay Blackwell, obviously a big piece for them as well. What do you see out of him?
Well, Blackwell's one of the most improved guys in our league, just in performance. I think 15 points a game. I think a guy that has maybe transition position-wise. You know, they're really playing him at the point, but he's a very, very good offensive rebounder. He's shooting the 3 well. He's effective in the paint. He's a good athlete, and really good in the open court. And again, I think that's one of the things that Greg's done a great job of is this team's playing fast. I mean, this isn't the old Wisconsin that you know, runs 28 seconds off the shot clock and then 18 if they get an offensive rebound, and you know, lives and dies by swing and swing only. This team isn't that, and Blackwell and Tanjay have both great head rammers and have fit in well.
How has Ben responded in practice since that Northwestern game?
To what? To what? What are you? To what?
Missed shots.
He's a shooter. To miss shots. The only way Ben played great. He was our highest defensive rated guy. I've never in my life got mad at a shooter shooting. I mean, he's been great. And no different today than he was. He has bad practices or shot. I say bad practices. Practice where he's missed shots, and I don't know. He made 7 in a row, 6 in a row yesterday. So Ben played great. You guys see something? You need to understand what we're trying to do. Then, if you think I'm going to get upset over a guy missing shots, see you tomorrow.